This media is brought to you by Polyscope.
In the realm of tomorrow, where techniques mind, we ponder, we dream.
Awesome. So thank you so much for coming on the show. It's great to finally meet you because this is how we meet each other nowadays over Zoom. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your organization and what you're passionate about?
Thank you, Chris. So I'm very happy to be here. About 12 years ago, I published my first book, and then I realized that
Yes,
the
congratulations. I know how hard that is. So
very. And I was throughout my master degree at electronics engineering, and back in the day, I realized that the publishing process is kind of broken. So I decided to bootstrap my own publishing company. I wasn't that clever about the name. I named it Niv Publishing after my last name.
nothing wrong with that. Sounds good. Nice and short. Nice and
Yeah.
short. Did you hear that the other day that Elon Musk is the #1 most mentioned personality in the news? And I'm thinking maybe it's also because he's got like very short name, very short name, very
Yeah.
helpful.
I think because he's very successful as well.
So are you, right?
Okay. So after I established Niv Publishing, and it took a while, but it grew to become the largest publishing house in Israel with over 400 team members, more than 1,200
Fantastic.
titles published annually. Yeah.
How long
And
did it take? How long did it take to get to that point?
about 8 years from the inception to the largest publishing house in Israel. And about 4 years ago, I finished structuring the management team, and I finally got my life back. So I had a little bit time to think about the future.
Mm,
And I started to do some angel investing, and I met few tech founders which had back in the day worked on this emerging technology AI. It was 2 years prior to ChatGPT, and I realized that wow, this technology is amazing. It will revolutionize everything. I better do something about it
hmm.
rather to become irrelevant by it. So I started another company named Spines. I started with my own money, but soon I realized my capital will not be enough. So I raised a pre-seed round of $1.3 million from angel investors. On last December, we had a seed round of $6.5 million led by Aleph of Michael Eisenberg. He is the partner. And recently, we just announced our Series A of $16 million. We've been growing very, very fast this year. We are actually a publishing platform that allows any author who would like to publish his book to do it within our platform. We published over 2,000 titles already.
Wow.
Yes, and in 2025, we are planning on publishing somewhere between 6 to 8,000 titles. And our mission is to make sure that anyone who wishes to publish a book can do so, instead of them going through 6 to 18 months of a process that might cost them $10 to $50,000. With our platform, the process is only 3 weeks, and it
Wow.
starts from 1,200 up to 5,000. That depends on how much of a service they would like to receive from the AI. And within 3 weeks, their book get listed across 100 distribution channels worldwide, and they can become a published author very, very
Okay,
fast.
wait a second. I got to go sign up right now. Let's put this interview on hold
So
so I can sign
spines.com.
up.
That's the yeah. Okay.
So this is really cool. So
Thank you.
you uh, build a publishing house,
Mhm.
and then you sort of said, "Okay, I'm out of this," and then you realized that this is going to really change publishing forever because it has. It has absolutely changed publishing forever. So when I hear what you're talking about, I mean, I love it because I'm a writer as well, and I'm like, we need these types of platforms to be able to publish our work because everyone knows that the current publishing system is totally broken. I mean, a lot of things are broken, and that's one of those things that are broken. And you've lived it from the inside out because you actually had a publishing house, right?
Mhm. Yes.
So
And
I guess the question is that what brought you back into it? Like what sucked you in? Was it the technology or what brought you back into the game?
So I realized that this AI revolutions we have been experiencing in the last years is the major opportunity of my generation.
Mm,
Okay, like my grandpa generation, their opportunity was the industrial revolution. Okay,
mm,
but nowadays it's the AI revolution, and it will affect every industry. Okay, and publishing included, of course. Like any industry will be affected by this revolution, and I wanted to make sure that this technology do not replace authors,
mm.
vice versa, that it's empowering authors, because
Right.
I believe that the only reason we know what happened on planet Earth 3,000 years ago is because people wrote books. And
Yes.
books, it's the only medium we know that can last for ages. Because this internet we are talking on right now, and people actually watching us, that's needed electricity and service that need maintenance all the time. But books who were printed doesn't need no maintenance, and anyone can find them in 3,000 years from now.
Exactly.
So me helping more authors with AI to get what they actually wrote themselves to be published and listed and distributed, I realized that with that technology I can do it faster, I can do it more efficient. I can do it with much more scale. I can help to more people to realize their publishing dream. And I remember me being an author and how frustrating it was to get my book listed. And I realized, why didn't there will be a platform that anyone could upload this manuscript, get the whole process done as fast, as easy as possible, and get it distributed. And
Yep.
it seems so logical that this technology will enable that, and that's what we're trying to build. And my mission, when like publishing 1,200 titles in Israel, that's the highest amount of books being published in Israel, and yet for me it's too slow. Okay,
Hmm.
I want to figure out how can I publish over 1 million authors in my lifetime, and doing
You
it
gotta, you gotta,
manually.
you gotta speed that up, man.
Yes. So Spines is my opportunity, by utilizing this AI technology to integrate that into a publishing process, making it much more affordable, much more easy. I believe that if there are 2.5 million titles published annually in the States, I believe there are 10 million titles that are not being published.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes,
So,
because the process is so inefficient. Yes.
well, see, here's the question I have for you. So, as an author in the States, I have self-published a bunch of books through Amazon because that is like the platform of choice here. So, what makes you different from doing it that way?
Okay, so to list your book on Amazon, you have to go through a proofreading service before that. You have to someone to optimize and resize the files, create the print-on-demand version, create the ebook version, design a cover, create a metadata. Okay, so if you are a very tech-savvy guy, you can figure that out by yourself. But most of people will probably go to an Amazon expert, and it will cost them. And if you want a proper editing, and every author I've ever met, they all had the same complaint. Why didn't the cover designer read my book? Okay, because okay, because if you will have to read a book to design a cover, you will never have time to design covers. So,
Exactly.
but with AI, we do not have those problems. We scan the file, we understand what it's about. Now we can start recommend on categories. There are over 16,000 categories to choose from. You have to choose them very wisely, and so we optimize that process.
Mm,
Then, based on the categories, based on what we scanned, we can start to generate covers that can take into consideration how best-selling books looks like. Okay,
mm.
so
Yeah,
so
because
now you
that's the biggest issue I find is the cover because that's the thing, that's the make or break. Believe it or not, everyone says you can't judge a book by its cover, but everyone does. Everyone
yes,
judges a
all
book by
do.
its cover.
Yes. So the cover must be appealing, okay?
Mm,
And we can optimize that. And that's not all. The description of the book, okay? Even you wrote the most amazing book ever written, if you do not invest time and effort in the description, no one will buy it. So we optimize that as well. And so after we helped you create a cover, we helped you choose a category, we help you optimize the description. Now we do the format. Now we do the proofreading for you. So there will be no mistakes in the books, because if you give to human beings to do proofreading, you probably need to have 2 or 3 proofreaders in the process, because
Yep.
everyone misses stuff.
Yep.
AI do not miss anything.
Humans make mistakes, basically.
Yes. So, but yet on our platform, the author has to approve any suggestions that the AI offered, and then we deal with the formatting. So we create over 70 versions of the books, because each platform requires different formats.
Mm,
And we list the books across 100 distribution channels, not only on Amazon. Amazon is only one channel. It's the
right.
biggest, but it's only one. Barnes& and Noble, Baker and Taylor, Bookymedian, we make sure the book is listed properly with the right metadata, with the right category on each platform. And we also optimize the metadata. The metadata is what make your book to show.
Mm,
And if you do not optimize the metadata, you will not gain a lot of visibility within the platform. So
right.
we have to optimize that, and it's different within each platform. Okay. And then after the book is listed, now we become your royalty management tool. Instead
Mm,
of you, as an author, going and collect your money from each platform, and each one has a minimum amount that you cannot collect. So we take care of that. Instead of you going and sending the W9 files to 20 or 30 channels, you do it only once with Spines. We collect the money for you, and you are getting up to 70% of your royalties, which is a very, very good offer to authors. For those who are working with a publisher, they know that they are entitled to much less than that. And after that, so then there is the marketing platform. So let's say you're trying to create an AMS campaign for your book on Amazon. That's a rocket science.
hmm
You now need to become a performance marketing expert, or you will go to an agency to do that for you.
You're not an
So
author anymore. You're an entrepreneur. You have to do everything.
yes. So we helping with that as well. We help you to create the banners, the creatives. We integrate to the system. We manage the campaigns for you, and I believe the marketing of the books starts way before the marketing. So we
Mm,
started by designing the cover, by optimizing the metadata, by making sure it's appealing, and then we help you to do the performance marketing, and everything is in one platform. So instead of the authors going and looking for different services from different service providers, everything is in one place. Everything is simple to use, and we have customer success who will help you, guide you through the process if you need any help. If you are so we know how to support very, very tech savvy authors, and even a 70 years old grandma who want to publish a book, we can help her as well to navigate through our system. And it works, it's easy, and this is why we've been growing so much, and we are planning on keeping that. So
nice. Well, I see
thank
this is the biggest problem I see because like I said, I'm a writer and I've written a bunch of books, and I find the writing is the easiest part. It's the easiest part because you just sit down and you write and you get it out, and then everything else around it, sort of the editing, the copy, the marketing, everything else around it is the hard part. And
yes.
I have talked to published authors who publish through regular publishing houses, and they say it's terrible. The whole experience is awful. And they're like, I'm going to self-publish next time. And there's just so much you can do so much
Yes,
more
and
when
then
you
they have to figure
self-publish.
out publishing by themselves when I'm trying to do self-publishing.
Yeah, good luck, right?
Yes. So what we are doing with Spines, we are not a publishing house. We are not a self-publishing process. We are a publishing platform. Okay,
Mm,
so that's a different approach. We give you an access to our tools. We give you access to our distribution channels. We do everything for you, and it's a very, very easy to use, and much more affordable. Okay, because I believe by lowering the barrier of knowledge needed to be gained, and the money needed to be invested in the process, I will enable more people to realize their publishing dream. That's
oh yeah,
what we
there's
are.
so many people out there who have ideas for a book, and they know that it's just like a long long way to climb, but if they can actually get the book on paper and properly, and even if you do part of the editing process, I think that's key as well. The editing is almost more important than anything else.
Yes. So right now our platform kind of support editing. Okay, it's not really an editing. In the future it might,
Hmm.
but right now what we do, if you want an editing, we can introduce you to one of our editing expert, and he can help you work on the book with you, make it much more appealing, and then go through the process of spines.
So tell me a little bit about like a specific case. Like, do you have a book that you brought into the platform and became like wildly successful? Have you had that yet, or has it not been around long enough for that?
Yes, we have a few. We have a
Hmm.
few. Um, um, one of them, which is very, very nice, is the is one of the first book we've published back in 2021, which was in our pilot. Okay, when we did the pilot, like the best, like the first books we've published with Spines, way before it called Spines. Back in the day, the first name was Books AI. I forget Books
That's a
AI.
good
Well,
name. It's a little
yes,
generic, but it's good.
the problem with that name is that people thought that the AI actually write the books, which it
Right.
doesn't. Okay? So that's why we changed the name to Spines. And so our one of the first book we've published, Entebbe Disclassified. It's the book of the Entebbe operation,
Hmm.
and it was written by 30 warriors who actually fought in that operation.
Wow.
And it's a best-selling book on Amazon. And every July is the anniversary of the operation, and it speaks in sales each time.
Wow.
So yes,
Fantastic.
yes, it's amazing.
So do you find that a particular genre does better on your system than anything else?
So
Or
we are genre agnostic. Okay, we
right.
publish every genre, fiction, non-fiction, like everything. And because we help our authors to navigate between over 16,000 categories, okay, we do not have a specific category which is we can see that that's the best category. We only listed 2,000 more than 2,000 titles, so it's not that lot of data yet.
Mm.
But I'm sure that as we will progress into 25, into 26, we will have much more titles, and we'll start to see what might be better.
Yeah, and I love the idea that it actually scans the book and then comes back with categories because I always have that problem when I'm sitting there at the Amazon page going,
So many.
enter some
Yeah.
keywords, enter some categories. I'm like, I don't know where this fits, because some of the stuff I write is highly variable. So it'd be tough for me to figure out what would be best for the book itself.
Category research, keyword research, those are very, very, very important. And people think that that's something technical that only need to be done. You have to choose those words very, very carefully when you're listing your book. Okay, the
Yeah.
keywords, the category. So we took all our 12 years of knowledge of publishing, and we poured that into the algorithms and into the technology we developed, and it actually helped us to make a proper decisions for each book.
So if I had a book right now that was in Amazon format, how can you just spit out both ebook and regular paper book at the same time? So can you do both?
Yes. Yes, we create ebook version. We create print on demand versions for both soft cover and print on demand cover and soft cover and hardcover for print on demand formats. And also we can create audiobooks. Okay,
Mm.
so we have over 60 synthetic voices for you to choose from. And then instead of you going to a studio, or let's say you want to use your own voice, now we're working on a new feature that you would have to send us 10 minutes of you speaking, and we will create a model for your voice. And
Oh,
now
I love
instead
it.
of going into a studio for 40 hours, now we can generate a full audiobook with your voice. So that's a new feature we are soon to be releasing. So we have so many stuff going on, and being able to help our users not only publish ebook and print on demand versions, but also audiobooks. That's something that is game changer.
Nice, nice. And you said that is the typical uh royalty is 70%, you said? Is that across the board
Yes.
with all these, or is it different depending on
So whatever we
the market?
collected from the stores, from the channels, we give the author 70%. We have 30% cut.
But it depends because Amazon has different ways of setting it up, right? I mean, or all these platforms have different ways depending
Yes,
on the
everyone has
distribution.
different plans, but whatever we collected, we give the author 70%.
So it's a lot simpler for the author to just go into your tool and say, this is what I'm trying to do, and it'll just do it for you. Like you don't have to
Yes.
go to off to all the different.
Yes, yes. We collect the money from each platform from and on a monthly basis, the authors receive their royalties.
Now, what if I'm already listed somewhere else? Do I have to delist from there to list on you? Because then you guys are going to relist
So,
it.
so now we're working on the options for those who has already published a book and just want to use our tool for extra distribution, or let's say they want to only list the audiobook with our system. So we will find a way to do that as well. It's a startup company. We started with the basic process, and now we are adding more features and more options. So in the coming releases, we will have options for you to integrate the book you already listed. You can choose extra channels that you are not listed on. You can list them with spines. You can add more versions with spines. We soon will support translations as well. So let's say you listed your book in English, we can help you translate it to more languages. Now you become an international author, not only an American author.
Published in
So
22 languages. You can actually say that on your promo.
yes, yes. So those features we are working on, but now we only support one book that we take care of everything and list it with all the channels. Soon it will be more flexible.
But you can actually have multiple books, right? So if I could
Yes,
say I had something on there right now. So I have a book right now on Amazon that just published a little while ago, and it's not doing anything. So if I could delist it, right,
and
and
list
then
it again.
republish it under a new name through your service, and that would
Yes.
be okay. It's considered a brand new book. I'm doing that right now, right after this call. I'm
We
gonna
will
sign
design you a
up.
new cover. We will optimize everything for you, and we will give your book a proper chance.
I absolutely need that. So it's time to think like a futurist. It's the year 2035 because this is going to be in 25 that we're going to do this. Where do you see this going? I mean, is AI? I mean, it sounds like you're not really encouraging AI in the creation part of the book. It's just sort of like once the book has been written, is it? Are you seeing AI seeping into the creation part of the book as well in a
So,
positive way?
so what I am afraid that will happen is actually AI will be very, very good at writing books, even more than
Mm,
humans. So
yep.
what we're trying to create now is to create a stamp or a banner for a book that was written by human.
Hmm.
Okay, so for example, you can go to IKEA and buy a chair that was mass produced, okay, by a factory, or you can go to a wood artist and buy a chair. It will cost you much more, and it will be
Yep.
more designed in a very unique way. So I believe same things will go into books. So you will have a lot of generic stuff that was generated by AI, and you will have books that were actually written by humans, and people will be willing to pay extra for that.
Right.
Uh, um, and I think in the future there will be a segment of AI books that we're reading by AI. They will be very, very cheap. It will be, I don't know, a monthly subscription of, I don't know, $2, and you can read whatever you like. But keep remember that humans, we are a storytelling species.
Mm,
Okay. We started from drawing on caves walls. We created the Bibles. We invented writing. We are a storytelling species. That's what we all about. And the human necessity of writing a book, a story, a journey, I believe it will be always be present. And my mission is to make sure even in 2035, I will still helping authors realizing their publishing dreams.
See, that's the thing that's interesting to me because there are a lot of budding authors out there, but they just don't have the time or the skill to be able to take their story and turn it into a full-blown short story or novel or whatever.
Yes.
So if AI sort of steps in and helps them, doesn't they don't write the whole thing, but it helps them to take that initial kernel. Because this happens to me all the time. I have an idea. I have like a one-liner idea for a book, right? And I'm like, geez, I wish I could sit down and write this 600-page book, or I could just ask AI to write this 600-page book on my idea. Do you think we'll ever get to a point where that kind of thing is valid, where you have the author just generating the nugget of the idea and then AI creates the rest of it and actually in a positive way?
Probably it will be available sooner than we realize.
Right.
But what I think it will be the middle ground is there is a service named ghostwriting. Let's say
Okay.
let's say a very, very successful CEO. He want to publish a book about his journey, but he has no time. So he go to a ghostwriter and
Yeah.
he interviews him and then he write his book.
But
Okay.
they cost a fortune. I talked to one once.
I
She's
know they are
like,
very because it's a premium service. Someone will
exactly.
interview you. Okay, so AI might replace that. So let's say you're on a chat call with a bot, like we do now.
Hmm.
Okay, and he asks you, tell me about your childhood, tell me about significant moments in your life, and then it will start to write. It will interview you. It will go out and research for facts, integrate them into the story, create this and you might give him, okay, give me 10 books that you loved, that you want the structure to be. So probably those technologies will be introduced. There are a few companies that already trying to do stuff like that.
Mm,
Uh, um, again, my mission is to help content that was written by humans to get published. This is what I'm betting on. This is what
yeah.
I'm focusing on. I do want to help them with editing, both literatural, both linguical. I don't know if we will get into writing the books for the authors with AI. There are a few companies working on that, so let them focus on generating content with AI. I'm focused on the authors who actually have a dream and spent a year writing a manuscript. Let's make sure those books, like always, I something that I say all the time. Our competition is not other publishers. Our competition is the drawer.
Mm, mm.
Okay, we want to make sure that as much as books possible with get out from the drawer to the light. This is what I'm trying to do.
So you don't have a rule like Spotify has where it's if it's AI, they won't publish it. So if an author comes to you and they've used AI in writing the book, whether it's a little bit or a lot, you'll still take it as is, right? So you'll still put it through the editing process and all that. You don't make any judgment on the
Um,
content of the book.
Good questions. We didn't got to that point yet. Um, I believe we will publish it, but we will find a way to 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 mark this book as something that is not 100% humanly written. Like I
Yeah,
don't know.
because you can detect that. You can
Yes.
detect that,
Yeah. AI assistant book. I don't know.
right?
Like
Unless
something
it's
like that.
because the author may not disclose. The author might just say, "Oh no, I wrote this book myself." But
Yes. By the way, there are a lot of copyright issues regarding that that soon the LLMs will try to address to because like when we allow an author to publish a book, he has to declare that is it's his own genuine content.
right,
Okay. Okay, because then there is a copyright issue. Let's say he copied the book from the web, copy pasted, and now we say it's its own book. I cannot detect like I cannot scan the whole internet for every book I publish. So this
right.
is why my only way to know if it's a genuine content is if the author declares that. Okay.
That's right.
And then it's his responsibility. But when he uses tools to generate the content, that's when we start to enter a very gray area of
Hmm.
what is genuine, what is not. And I think regulation will soon kick in, and we will see more interesting directions it can take. I don't know how those kind of content will be marked, but I don't know if it's considered genuine. Like soon we will know. I don't know yet.
Well, yeah, I know that they have struck down the copyright for images, right? Saying
Yeah,
that anything AI generated is not copyrightable. And if that's the case, then there's lots of stuff that's out there that's not copyrightable. But I don't know what the situation is for LLM. So if I go in and write a book with an LLM and I present it as myself,
yeah.
does OpenAI own the copyright for that, or does it
No,
not, or is it not copyrightable at all? And me making a few changes to it makes it copyrightable by me. All these things are just gray areas right now. We don't know
that's the
where we're
big
going.
question.
Yeah,
That's the big question of content of books in the future be able to be generated by AI. Who will own the copyright? If there will be any copyright at all, will the authors need to pay a fee to, I don't know,
yeah,
for every book being sold because it's not their own genuine writing? Who knows? We don't really know.
exactly. No, we're still at the beginning of it, but I'm happy to see that people are still reading books and writing books and wanting books because of all this other media that's going on, video, podcasts and YouTubes, etc. People are still buying books, people are still reading books, and books are going to be around for a really long time. So I love when we're doing more things to promote that.
Thank you.
So this has been great. Thank you so much. So if somebody wants to get in touch with you, what's the best way?
Go to spines.com. If you want to publish a book, go through the process. It's a very, very easy and simple process. If you want to reach out to me, you can send me a message on LinkedIn, Yehuda Niv. I'm trying to be responsive there. So those are the ways to reach out to me.
Sounds good. I'll put everything in the show notes. So if somebody wants to get in touch, they can go directly to the link. So thank you so much. This has been great. And I'm
Okay.
going to go sign up right now. Right after this call, I'm signing up.
Thank you,
Thank you so
Chris.
much.
Amazing.
Bye.
Pixels and philosophies merge and mold, a future untold, unseen.